Assalamu alaikum and good morning to all dear friends. Thanks for feedback of past many hours. Here in Kuwait, it's a bright sunny day, and yesterday at least two ministers of PTI government have expressed their opinion in favor of student unions. And there is a big hue and cry. Students are out on streets in Islamabad and Lahore. I think uh, all their genuine demands must be accepted. Um, we do have student organizations in British and American universities, and students they focus their own. So I hope Pakistani students will also realize this and will not find dictatorial practices as democracy. And students will, I repeat, will not fall into trap of traditional politicians whom are bent upon terming their dictatorial practices as democracy since long here in Pakistan. And uh, while having these unions, students will focus their own problems, genuine ones, and will come up with uh, prompt solutions for their fellow students once the unions are formed. Now, you see, I always appreciate good models and do project them as well as journalists, as writer. And so far, uh, we are a developing country, Pakistan, though we are developed as a nuclear state, but talking in terms of politics and economics, I can safely say that we are still a developing country, and our people are often misled by certain people whom were desperately trying to attain power to misuse their intelligence and law enforcing powers for sake of revenge. They were aspiring to gain power, to be in government, and that's why we are having plenty of psychopaths around because of frequent misuse of intelligence and law enforcing powers by politicians during past 2 decades. Now that we are having some educated people in government and are mentally and physically healthy as well, so we are in a advantageous position. And as journalists, we are supposed to, and as politicians as well, we are supposed to create awareness to lead people towards right direction. That is our professional and moral duty as well. One can only remain politician or a journalist if he or she is politically and professionally correct. And I hope students will get this right of forming their unions, their councils, and all their genuine demands will be accepted soon. And I assure the younger ones that they don't have to pose like laborers of Chicago. And those younger ones who are out on streets in Lahore, students, and are expecting some oppression from state. No, it's a PTI government, and we people are now educated enough. Our politicians are educated enough. Our law enforcing agencies, their heads are educated enough, and they will never open fire on any student's demonstration and will treat them as their own children. That I assure all of you. Recently, that handsome man and brilliant one is Shweta Dastagir is being appointed as Inspector General Police in Punjab, and I hope he will provide protection to student demonstrators and will be kind with them. I think students can also learn that exaggeration never leads us towards anywhere. Some of the universities are charging big per semester, and not all the universities are doing this. Some of the universities are expensive here in Pakistan, but not all universities are so expensive. Government universities are charging students in a reasonable fashion, and the problem is not that big. I can tell all of you my own experience. Well, as a student of international relations in Qaid-e-Azam University, because during test and interview I had scored high, so I was declared topper at the merit list and was awarded with scholarship for one semester only. And my parents were financing me. Then came that ample uh, admission, and I wanted to do ample and PhD uh, in continuous manner without having any break. So in ample again there was a test and interview, and the scholarship was awarded to me and to my other class fellows as well. And then in PhD, again I was registered and was awarded with scholarship. But then my supervisor was sent abroad, Dr. Sikandar Hayat, as education attaché. And it was a PMLN government they came up with some unpopular measures like stopping our scholarships or like ending our scholarships. So, uh, number of students who were doing doctorate in Kajazan University, they were affected. And irony is that unlike students in USA or in Great Britain who are getting 22 hours per week to work somewhere to earn their living, that sort of arrangement is not here in Pakistan. So students are solely dependent upon their families. Then for jobs, even now, statistics I have received from my professor, Rashid Khalid, he says that 75% of ample PhDs are jobless. They are not employed anywhere. So we are a developing country and very funny situation is there. At one hand, students are compelled to rely on their parents. They are not allowed to work anywhere. In Qaid Azam University, while I was doing PhD, the rule was that if you got employed, you will be thrown out from hostel, and everybody knows that how expensive residences are there in Islamabad to hire. So funny rules are there. We have to correct all this. Nobody will come from skies to solve all these problems of us. We have to make our students work to earn their living and to pay their high fees. And we have to create opportunities for them within the campus and outside the campus as well. As American students, they do have these opportunities and they get scholarships, they get job opportunities while they are students in universities. So I think we have to develop this culture. Uh, we have to develop culture in campuses. We have to arrange big and huge scholarships for students, and vice chancellors are responsible for uh, arranging huge scholarships for students. In our days, our vice chancellors, one especially Sheikh Imtiaz, was a very kind and smart man. He was in touch with the United Nations agency responsible for spreading education all around the globe. So we were a highly privileged students. In hostels, our there was no electricity bill for us. There was no gas bill for us. Round the clock geysers, even in summers, were on in Qaeda University hostels, and our university was funded by US because our vice chancellor was smart and he was out to arrange everything for us. And we used to, one of my seniors has told me that uh, vice chancellor is, I mean, second papa of every student because we are away from our homes. And recently he was having some trouble with some people in government, so he told them that he will tell his papa that you people are wrong and still you are pressing me. And those guys, they had asked him that, who is your papa? He said, my original papa is in home, but current papa is Sheikh Imtiaz, who is chancellor of Qaid-e-Azam University. And the moment they heard name of Sheikh Imtiaz, they were pacified. they were no more aggressive. And then he came back to campus victoriously and had told us that name of Papa works everywhere. So never ever younger ones in Lahore or anywhere else in Pakistan shall think that they are Chicago laborers and someone will open fire on them. But they must be realistic and they must not play into hands of traditional politicians whom are fond of creating problem just for sake of projection. I don't write about them. I don't talk about that. And many journalists they do the same because they are not good examples. But some private media channels they project them as great failures and all the time, even if they are sick, if they're failure in physical sense, then they are projected as heroes. If they are failure in economic sense, they are again projected as great people and great heroes through certain channels, which is an immoral and unethical practice. We must bring in good examples, and media shall be powerful enough that no uh, mafia man who is trying to be a politician or a criminal who is posing to be a politician shall become a politician through media because it is ethically incorrect for us to project bad guys as politicians. And once we are brave enough to understand and practice all this, brave and brilliant enough for us doing so many things that we media fall short of time to write about everything which he has initiated. Here in Kuwait, come and see the roads. You will think that you are in United States of America. Come and see the park, and certain things are literally improved. And he's a true leader. He did something really great for Pakistan, like getting World Cup. And I always praise him because such example, so that to help him and to help his guys and all. So I wish all of you all the best, and I hope everything will be fine and all the